Moon Night, Alaska, and President Reagan are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is March 30th, 2022. It is the 89th day of the year. We got 276 days left in this year. It is the 13th Wednesday in the 14th week and the 11th day of spring. It's also the 29th day of Lent. Today is National Virtual Vacation Day. When March 30th arrives, so does National Virtual Vacation Day. It reminds us to relax, recharge, rejuvenate. No matter how you do it, no matter where you are, just recharge. Vacations restore our minds, bodies, and souls. For example, studies show that taking a vacation lowers the risk of heart disease. They also help hone our problem-solving skills and promote overall brain health. Yeah, and everyone likes a vacation, whether you go someplace or just take a break from work, I guess. All right. Let's see what else March 30th has given us. 1822, the Florida Territory is created in the United States. 1842, ether anesthesia is used for the first time in an operation by the American surgeon Dr. Crawford Long. 1855, the American Civil War. Border ruffians, as they were called, from Missouri invade Kansas and force elections of a pro-slavery legislature. So they come from another state and at gunpoint basically make these people vote other people in. Strange time. 1867, Alaska is purchased from Russia for $7.2 million. That's about 2 cents an acre. And this was done by the United States Secretary of State William H. Seward, which there's a city in Alaska called Seward, Alaska. I've been there. Not much to it. They do have a bar that I was told that they have like urns up all over the bar, and they're locals. When they die, their ashes are put in the bar in an urn up behind the bar and on the walls. I went there. There's a couple that are like that, but most of them are just decanters. They're not all holding the remains of locals. That's just a weird urban legend. The first question most people wonder about the purchase of Alaska is why did they sell it so cheap, and why did they sell such a big chunk of land to the United States? Well, Russia was hurting for money. They just got a serious beatdown from the French and the British in the Crimean War. They had no taste for war, and they thought they could sell it because they felt that the British in Canada would eventually just take it from them anyway, and it was really hard to defend a colony so far away from the Russian mainland, so they just thought they'd get what cash they could because they kind of felt like they might eventually lose it anyway. Of course, at the time when all this was going down, the American public really didn't see it that way. They thought it was this corrupt, weird thing, and that politicians were getting a bunch of money and the real price was much higher. There was a whole bunch of conspiracies going on around this purchase. In the end, obviously, it was a great deal. The purchase of Alaska has been referenced as a bargain basement deal, and it's the main accomplishment of the presidency of Andrew Johnson. He is not one of our best presidents. Actually, I just read this thing where all the presidents were ranked. I think he was second from the bottom. And now we have Alaska with all its land, and it's a beautiful state. It really is. I've been there a few times, probably about 6-7 times now, and I love it. I'm going back in October. 1870, Texas is readmitted into the United States Congress following the Reconstruction. They were admitted into the Union on December 29th, 1845, so it took them a while to get around to getting some Texas representation in Congress. 1961, the Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs is signed in New York City. 1981, President Ronald Reagan is shot in the chest outside a Washington, D.C. hotel by John Hinckley Jr. 3 others were wounded in the same incident. This probably would have been the deep dive, but we talked about it last year or the year before. But here's the twist. The shooter, John Hinckley Jr., was released from institutional psychiatric care on September 10th, 2016. He's got all the different parole obligations that he has to go through, and he has to live with his mom, and he's got a YouTube channel. Not even kidding. I looked it up. He's got 26,000 followers right now. He plays his guitar on there, and his latest venture was he said he's starting a record label, and if you want to join his record label, all you have to do is send in a demo, and he'll get you signed right away. I watched a few of his videos, and before I was like, well, maybe he was faking that he was crazy so he can get out of prison or not have to go to prison, whatever the case may be. Nah, he's not all there. 1982 Space Shuttle Program. STS-3 mission is completed with the landing of Columbia at the White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. 2017, SpaceX conducts the world's first reflight of an orbital-class rocket. You know, the old days are rockets would go in the air and just parts would fall off into the ocean and it would go into space or whatever orbit. Elon Musk, his rockets come back down and land right where they took off from. And the ship or whatever, the satellite, goes wherever it needs to go. These things just return home. Really impressive. Premiered on March 30th. Today, 2022, Moon Knight, one of the coolest Marvel characters there is. I remember getting into it when I was like into comics, like in the early 80s and stuff. Very, very cool character, but it's going to be on Disney+. Here's the backstory to the character. A former U.S. Marine is granted a celestial power of an Egyptian moon god. He quickly discovers that having the powers is both a curse and a blessing. The series is based on the character created by Doug Moench. The filming took place, it's pretty cool. You know, it's just a TV show. You think they'd keep it, you know, in the United States and just use it on sets. No, they actually filmed this in Hungary and Jordan, along with the U.S. Born on March 30th, 1964, Tracy Chapman. Everybody knows her. She sang that song, Fast Car, back in the mid-90s. Great singer. She started playing the guitar and writing songs when she was only 8 years old and had started playing the ukulele at 3. I can't play a note, and I'm over 50. Always wanted to, I just don't have the attention span to sit down and learn something like that. Died on March 30th, 1986. We lost James Cagney, tough guy actor who won an Oscar for his role as George M. Cohen in Yankee Doodle Dandy. He gained additional fame for his roles in Angels with Dirty Faces and Love Me or Leave Me. He got the tough guy role from a film that he did called The Public Enemy. He always said that that tough guy persona kind of rubbed off on him. In that movie, he actually starred in it with Jean Harlow. James Cagney died of a heart attack at his farm in Stamford, New York on Easter Sunday, 1986. He was 86 years old. At his funeral, his eulogy was delivered by his close friend, Ronald Reagan, who was also President of the United States at the time. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, and be nice to each other.